Oh, well, mine is Fox on. So, I'm Fox. Later on today, this is, the January, February, March 28th, 2024. I'm gonna go see Godzilla X Kong, but this came in yesterday and I read it. It is the prequel comic to the movie. And you don't nearly need to watch. I'm just saying around. I don't think you're gonna need to read this to understand the movie coming out. One, also the art is pretty great up front. But on that same note too, it is an okay little thing. Like it is 100% a prequel thing, which I feel like I don't know how much of this is gonna be needed. Like, first off, one, like there's two-ish stories going on. Like, there's two-ish stories going on. Like one is Godzilla on the overworld, which you can kind of see here with like the buildings of that, and then Kong in Hollow Earth. And pretty much it revolves around. Let me see here if I can find him. This guy, who's some big game hunter, who is not only hunting and killing kaijus, having a whole little museum filled with Skull Island Titans, like from the stick bug thing that killed that one guy, we zipped through him to the yaks, all that stuff. Not only that, but it turns out this rich a-hole built himself a Jaeger. Which honestly, I kind of like the idea that, yeah, technology now is advancing around, Jaeger tech, or at least, Mecha Godzilla tech. So, I can buy that, like, now, like, they can build one that's, I believe it's smaller than Mecha Godzilla. Let me see, actually, because he does at one point fight Kong, and if it's as tall as Kong, then it's actually about the same size as Mecha Godzilla. Let me see here. Okay, so it's about the same size as Kong, but pretty much this big game hunter is setting up lures. Pretty much, I'm guessing they must be the similar lures that were from the Monarch show, but then again, it wouldn't surprise you if that's not really the case, or it was just happened, coincidence that those matched up. So they have those lures to try and bait Godzilla away from like his hunting ground, where he's first testing this giant suit on top of on Earth, above Earth, before then going to Hollow Earth. And Godzilla is slowly trying to track down where it is. And the thing is also, I can't remember his name. The podcaster guy from the last movie, he's in this. He also has a I Stop for Mothra figure. But he's, I just realized that you see cameos of the different characters there, but he's in this, and like he's narrating everything for Godzilla, which I honestly think is kind of a cool little thing. The idea that like that's how we're gonna get certain thoughts across for a character who doesn't talk. Because here's the thing too, I don't want Godzilla to talk. I like Godzilla a lot. He's great. I like him as the silent wing, but you have to learn through body language, through his actions, who he is and how he moves and what he's thinking. Because even he, this guy at least saying it at least keeps that allure of like, is that even fully true? But like he even brings up like Godzilla was tracking down the different parts of Mechagodzilla, knowing the order of balance is out of whack. And the whole idea is that this guy even says, like, Godzilla is protecting this Earth. Like, if the world is out of balance, that's why he's going around. And pretty much this guy with these lures accidentally calls Skilla, who is the giant spider creature from King of the Monsters that I think was in New Mexico. accidentally calls Skilla out, and Skilla attacks like different nuclear reactor places. But the bad guy said, like, don't worry, we put our lures so close to nuclear reactors, no one will ever find them. So it'll be completely hidden, and we can say this never happened in the movie if we want to. Which, yeah, I'm kind of guessing that's the case. Because Skilla goes and attacks different nuclear plants and starts, like, eating the radiation. Which also, one thing that was kind of cool is, Skilla actually has a breath weapon, which is something I've been saying a lot of more of these kaijus should have, more Titans should have. A certain special ability. Godzilla obviously has atomic breath. You have the Arctic Varg who can actually absorb, that can absorb heat and thus freezes things, which is kind of funny. No, I grabbed Biollante by mistake. There we go. Ha! Which, here's the thing, too. I'm going into Godzilla X Kong pretty much blind. I haven't, all I seen was that, obviously, Godzilla's gonna turn pink. And that, Godzilla's gonna turn pink, and that at some point they fight in Egypt. Other than that, I'm pretty much going into it blind. I kind of know about Skilla because of the figures and all the other stuff. And also, this is, the Walmart version where, they frosted the tips, which I don't know if I fully... I kind of like it. Because the regular toy of this is just the blue, clear blue glass. But actually, I kind of like how that looks in the light. Because I like the kaiju with, the different colored backs. But yeah, I know, she's an ice kaiju, I'm pretty sure. So, she shoots ice out of her mouth. So that's pretty neat. So I'm like, okay, we're at least getting that in the main thing too. But Skilla has her own breath weapon where what is it? A fog-like pollutant above the power plant, which according to sources is actually silver lining. Because Skilla, so I guess the silver lining helps eat. I'm not sure exactly how silver and radiation works on that, so I apologize, but I'm assuming the silver lining allows the radiation to escape or something so she can absorb it. But, yeah, she has her own breath weapon. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Also, we find out that the hunter guy, the reason why he's hunting down all these kaijus and all this stuff, Titans, is because he was there in 2014, and he lost his entire family when they died in an accident when the Muto's attack. But in either case, so above ground, lure's happening, Skilla's going around destroying things, Godzilla's a little bit too late each time. Till eventually, Godzilla catches up to Skilla, and you see them about to face off, and then it says, to be continued in Godzilla X Kong, New Empire. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that 100% will lead into the movie. We're probably gonna see Godzilla, it wouldn't surprise me if this is gonna open up with Skilla entering into Rome, and then we see Godzilla stomp on the ground, and then we're gonna have, a big kaiju fight in the beginning. Because as far as I've at least heard, it sounds like Godzilla X Kong is gonna be very, very fight heavy. Which, on one hand, people are probably not gonna like that, especially after -1. On the other hand, I'm gonna be happy for that. And mind you, let me say this right now, I love -1. I don't like Shin Godzilla. I like Shin Godzilla, and everything that has to do with Shin Godzilla, except the human characters. I hated the human characters. It was just boring, and I did not care for it. And I get it. It makes sense. It was a parody, and I 100% get that. But -1, I think, shows perfectly well how you could do, not a parody, but, take the idea of showing, the troubles of Japan in certain stages and stuff, and make it somewhat interesting. And make it, not somewhat interesting, is interesting. -1 is a really damn good Godzilla movie. That being said, so I'm guessing the movie's probably going to open up with Godzilla versus Skilla. And then that's pretty much the end of Godzilla's part in this comic. Because it's alright, go watch the movie now. Alright. Where then we flip to Kong. Mind you, it's interspersed between the two. But pretty much Kong's just living in Hollow Earth, he also has his axe at one point, but then loses it, and I don't know why. Also, like, them not giving him his axe in this is kind of... But then again, maybe it's like... I'm guessing it's probably going to get destroyed at some point, which sucks, because I like that axe, and it's cool. But maybe he'll get something else. Well, then he already has his... whatever the hell this gauntlet is. I don't know what it is. Although, again, clips and pieces, I kind of saw a little bit of, like, it's super... I think. I don't know. But anyways, Kong is just ruling Hollow Earth, exploring it, I guess. Which, I ain't gonna lie, a Hollow Earth game would be badass. Or, like, at the very least, like, something kind of like this where, like, you switch between Godzilla and Kong, eventually, like, they meet up at some point, I think would be kind of cool. Like, imagine, like, you play as Godzilla above Earth, like, doing something, trying to track down a kaiju or whatever, but then, like, under Earth, you're following as Kong, too, and, like, both are, like, different open world kind of things. I think it would be kind of badass. Okay, so anyways, that being said, the guy with his mech, where Kong's, slowly exploring whatever, and world, he actually, I'm not entirely sure what he sees. Because he's kind of just, like, looking, and then he sees, like, these stones here, and he's like, oh. So I don't know, like, is it that he saw, like, it looks carved into, maybe? That it looks like a building or something like that? Because eventually he finds out, he does go there. He does eventually climb there. Like, he jumps and uses the zero gravity to get up there. And he finds out that this entire place is filled with cave paintings. And I'm pretty sure these are the cave paintings from Godzilla or King Kong, where, like, they show, or something similar to it, where, like, they're showing the different things, because, like, you see stuff like the skull crawlers, you see the devil bats, or whatever the hell they're called, you see Rodan, you see Godzilla, you see Godzilla versus Kong, or at least, their species, I guess, fighting each other. Also, Kong drops his axe here, so is that what I'm supposed to take? That's where he leaves his axe? But then, you also see this little thing, where it's Godzilla versus Shima! Shima! So, I'm guessing this is another thing that's, like, been told, or, like, Godzilla has fought her before, or at least his species has. Well, actually, no, him. Because as far as, apparently in the novelization of Godzilla vs. Kong, it is stated that, I'm saying like I went in one line, which I am. It's mostly just getting a lot of this through toys and stuff, but Godzilla x Kong, like, the novelization says that Godzilla is actually special for his race or his species because he actually absorbed a special radiation that was said to be the equivalent of the equivalent of consuming a star. And whenever he opens his mouth to shoot radiation blast, he releases that energy into massive radiation blast. So, but I think it's been theorized and made canon that this guy, Doug, or Douglas Titanicus, I think is what he's called, is pretty much what Godzilla it would have been or is without the kite star. But then again, there's also a dead Godzilla in 2014. So maybe it is more along the lines of this is what they would have been unless they absorbed the star, and then that's just Godzilla's own line of like bloodline, maybe? I don't know. No, yeah, because, well, it also depends on which comics are canon or not, because this isn't the first MonsterVerse comic, and I think it's Aftershock, or one of the Godzilla ones for the MonsterVerse, that it shows another Godzilla that fights and dies. Yeah, no, because that's a Godzilla that fights and dies, and then that Godzilla becomes the body that the Mutos were found in. So, yeah, There are other ones, but yeah. Anyways, radiation is what gives them that power. He have the power of pretty much equivalent of a star inside them, which, by God, but also makes sense. And that's why he can burrow holes into the earth, and as well as apparently those burrow holes in the earth also, at least from the Monarch show, are saying can maybe punch into different realities. So fun. Godzilla's a badass. Did you know this? But yeah, so you see Shimo here. So I'm guessing it's hinting at what's to come. I thought maybe we'd see something about like the other ape or something like that, but not really. Eventually, the hunter guy goes to Hollow Earth with his mech, starts just killing indiscriminately, like that giant yak thing from Skull Island. He kills some of these devil war bats. And he just, like, kills... And, like, it's not even, like, hunting. He just, like, kills them. He grabs, kills, leaves. And it tells his men to bag it up. Which I'm like, how the hell do they bag that up? Kong sees this. And eventually destroys these guys working. And eventually when this guy... Which also, he has, like, this claw as, like, horns from, like, a different kaiju. I'm not sure which kaiju that's supposed to be, but whatever. When he sees like the pups or like the cubs of one, he wants to kill him. This guy comes in, attacks, or the mom comes in, attacks him. He kills the mom, but eventually Kong and tracks them all down, destroys his whole operation thing, finds him, protects the cubs because he's a badass, and just completely destroys, or fights them. I have a whole fighting thing, which again, the action's pretty decent. At one point, Kong suplexes him off the side of a mountain. The guy goes, I'm human! I should win! Like, you're nothing! You're just a giant monkey! And Kong goes, well, bye! Drops his ass, slams down, destroyed Mech on the ground. Guy gets out of the thing. The cubs come and eat him. And I had to stop saying that word for a second. And Kong just looks, wow. And then that's the end. Nothing really happens. Like, the only thing that kind of really happens here is there's a Mech. That's it. And even then, I really don't even, like, here's the thing too. I love the Monsterverse, don't get me wrong. But I will say too that between the comics, like, at least for seeing, like, the different antagonists, not 100% of the time do I look at those and the monsters and be like, that's a good monster. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Godzilla, obviously. Kong, yes. But, like, they're like, oh, yeah, the Alpha Mudo. And I'm like, doesn't look that great. Didn't even look like that in the Mudo, if I'm remembering correctly. But, like, and it kind of feels something similar. Like, I feel like a lot of times with their designs for, like, other monsters, they go a little bit too, good looking, I guess. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Did I say about, yeah, I think I said the eye break from Mothra. But, like, they look like they're trying to make them look too real, I guess. In a sense, I'm trying to say, like, I feel like if they, like, the Monsterverse should take a note from Pacific Rim. I'm sure a lot of people are saying that. But I'm saying this in a sense of monster design, where if you can make it where it looks like either a puppet or a suit, like if it could work as a puppet or it could work as someone in a suit, then you base the kaijus around that. Because Skilla, I could honestly see, okay, I could see Skilla as a puppet. I 100% could. I could see, you could see, different ones, obviously Kong and Godzilla could be, like, suits. Like, I feel like that. Even Shimo, like, I don't know, her design still feels like something that you could have a suit of. But like, something like this, like, you could probably have a suit that looked like this, mech-wise. But I feel like, maybe if they would have went more the Jaeger route, instead of, like, this steampunkish, I think it would be a little bit cooler. And again, some of the other kaijus that in the other books, like, if they went something along those routes, I think the Kraken is a pretty decent one. But if they went something around those routes for the comic bad guys, I think would work a lot better. Than that, but like, yeah, this comic is fine. It's okay. Like, you don't really get too much into it. Like, Godzilla, like, they build up Godzilla's fight only to be like, go watch the movie, which, yeah, makes sense. This is pretty much paid advertising. You pay for the prequel to know what's gonna happen, and then it just leaves you off at a cliffhanger because you're gonna go see the movie. But like, it at least like sets up certain things, like, what is the mysterious new kaiju that's coming? And like, I'm hoping this is not the answer where his axe went, because I want his axe to be a thing, and at least if it's destroyed, it makes more sense. But I also do like Kong just chilling out on Hollow Earth. I like Godzilla patrolling his side of the Earth, the overworld. That, again, Kong gets this Hollow Earth, Godzilla gets above Earth, and I like that. I like that a lot. Hopefully I'm going into Godzilla X Kong excited. I'm going into it excited. I don't know what I don't want to say I want to go in with low hopes, because I want to like this movie, and I'm going in with the idea that I'm going to have fun watching it. I'm 100% feeling I'm going to have fun watching it. Am I expecting, oh my god, this dark breakdown of a character tortured by Godzilla, who, as he pops up and just ruins his life? No. But I am expecting Godzilla, the hero of balance, and Kong, another kaiju who's somewhat of Godzilla's ally, somewhat not, having both to team up to fight a much bigger evil or ally or bad guy, who won't be someone who like joins in. If Shimo joins Godzilla and Kong and all them, it wouldn't surprise me. I saw one image. I know I'm going blind. I saw one image of Godzilla looking off screen and looking kind of happy, and people theorize that it's Mothra coming back, which I love too, because then people also did the an image of How to Train Your Dragon when Hiccup's dad finds his mom and goes up and goes, "You're as beautiful as the day I lost you." I'm like, oh my god! Like, did that with Godzilla and Mothra. I'm like, oh my god, yes! Let's see the king and queen back, baby! But, yeah, I'm excited. I definitely want to see. Also, like, I wouldn't surprise me if, like, we're gonna see, because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because that's something I was thinking about the comic, was that Scylla eats radiation. So, is what's gonna happen? Godzilla's gonna fight Scylla, and we're gonna see Scylla pretty much get the upper hand at one point and absorb most of Godzilla's like radiation. Godzilla eventually will win, but it's pretty much gonna set Godzilla back to 2014, if not prior Godzilla, losing losing a good chunk of his radiation, and therefore losing his atomic breath, which is a main weapon. And the thing is too that I love about the Monsterverse is from 2014 to 2019. 2019, King of the wait, no, because when the Godzilla X Kong came out 2021. So 2021, you see Godzilla's radiation. You see as slowly Godzilla absorbs more radiation, as well as becoming more powerful, to the point where he needs to charge up his atomic breath in 2014 to 2021, where he can rapid fire that thing. With no charge up. Or at least he can charge his body up to the point where he can then have rapid fire blasts and all that. I love that. But if Scylla is able to absorb most of that radiation and take away his thing, it's, if anyone's seen Star Wars The Mandalorian, it's like the episode where Mando is wearing armor that's not his, and he's like, I'm gonna block this attack, and then he turns out shitty stormtrooper armor can't block shit, and he's like, ow! He's like, okay, never mind, don't do that. Like, Godzilla will have to learn a new, have to regain radiation, possibly a new form of radiation. One that may or may not turn him pink. And if anything, like him being a lot thinner in this form might actually be a sense of him actually losing, like Skilla absorbing the radiation. That's why, because the reason why Godzilla is chunky is because he's filled with radiation. So him being, a lot thinner, and like, but then obviously also adapting to this new form with like a new tail spikes to do longer tail whip stuff. I'm excited. The movie comes out today. It all comes out actually a day before they say in the theaters. But like, I'm gonna go watch it. I'm excited. Tell me what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching. I would say this is a okay comic. Like it's 100% okay. Like it doesn't. The only thing that's kind of interesting are like obviously the ideas from it. The ideas that yes, tech magic. Mech tech is like more prominent here, and I like that. That after it's shown that Mechagodzilla can happen, yes, you can use that to create your own mechs. I like that idea. I like that we see that, yes, Kong is sticking to Hollow Earth, Godzilla is sticking to the overworld. Each of them are protectors, each of them are balanced. Hell, if anything, this comic shows that they're both balanced with each other. And hinting at what will come. But yeah, I like it. Tell me what you think down below. Thank you for watching. I'm sure videos I've done. Links are on my Facebook. There's some more videos. Hopefully you enjoy this. I'm going to do something similar with Glitch in Time at some point. I just got to get around to it. I'm working right now on Owl Wolf Town because I'm trying to get at least a preview of it out soon. Or at least like if an unfinished like half of just to show what I've done so far, and then I'll hopefully maybe finish it later. That's where it looks like where I'm gonna have to aim at it. But tell me what you think down below. Thanks for watching videos. Hope you enjoy this, and we will see you later. This is just gonna be badass all hell. And also like just the way of saying like I'm saying like puppet wise and all that stuff. Like Shimo and Biollante don't look too far off from kaijus that you would see, even though obviously this is a more fantastical and they try to make Shimo look more real. Like yeah, I could see these two coexisting in the same world still. And I think that's like where you can like that's where I say the design in this is really good.